We're here at the National Haunters Convention. My name is Kevin. I'm with the Home Haunters Association, and we're doing an interview here with our affiliate, Froggy's Fog. So I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us a little about your company.
Sure. Hi, I'm Chris Markgraf with Froggy's Fog. We're out of Nashville, Tennessee. We manufacture the chemical that goes in fog machines. Quick company history. We came out of the roller skating, laser tag, and fun center industry. I'm an asthmatic. We had to find fog fluid I could breathe. End result, my dad's degrees in biochemistry, so we sat down in the lab at Tennessee Tech to create something a little different. We committed to using all pharmaceutical-grade chemicals, all chemicals sourced solely out of the United States, no Indonesian or Chinese chemicals, all laboratory-grade deionized water, and we UV filter everything a couple times to make sure it's as clean as possible. The result was fog that didn't stink, fog that didn't leave residues all over everything, and the part that made me happy is I, as an asthmatic, could breathe the fog. The big surprise ended up, and I'll turn you over this way, of it was our swamp juice, which was our first product, and it was a total accident to create a fog that has an hour to an hour and a half hang time completely by, I won't call it mistake, but completely by accident. But that's what happened. And so Froggy's Fog was born. That's kind of where we came from.
Great. All right, well, let's go to ask a few questions here for the home haunter. Some important things are, what makes you different than the other fogs in the industry?
Well, I think what sets us apart is the hang time for sure. There's no one else I know of with an hour to an hour and a half suspension time in the air, and the quality with the no odor and being a little more respiratory friendly. Not that it couldn't cause someone out there to have a problem, but I as an asthmatic don't have a problem, and we've done what we can do to take those problems out of it.
Okay, and you know, as we all use fog, the question is chilling necessary?
Chilling is always necessary to get it down. The difference comes with what the chemicals do once they're on the ground, and that's where certain things like our freezing fog come into play, where we've done a couple things chemically to change it. Once it's lower, it has a tendency to stay cool longer and keep it on the ground for a longer period. There are some tricks of the trade that most people don't know, and we do a class at HauntCon about that, actually, on foggers and fog chilling, both maintenance and effect. But on the chiller side, all fog fluid chemically is designed to bond with water. So if you'll take a hair spritzer and very lightly mist down the ground in the area where you're going to be working, if it's not a traffic area where you're going to create a slip hazard, then mist it down with a little bit of water, cause that fog to hang there even longer than normal because you're giving it a bonding point. As far as certain special effects, it's really important on ground fog to create a windbreak if you're outdoor, and even if you're indoor a little bit, because as people pass by, it disrupts the wind, and it'll push the fog and move the fog around. That's the one thing you can't control is the wind. So the best that you can do is create windbreaks and wind divides for that to help the user, help keep it off your visual.
How would the home haunter really integrate this? We all set foggers out on the step, and it blows in the mass air. We lose control of the fog. So is there ways to integrate it seamlessly so it's hidden, but actually bring it up in the landscape of the haunt?
Yeah, one of the best places to hide your chiller is inside. If you'll create a fake mausoleum in your cemetery scene, you can hide both the machine and the chiller in there. Now, caution, don't create it where it's airtight because you'll overheat the machine and cause problems that way. So you don't want to do that because any overheated or overcooked fog fluid can become toxic and become airborne formaldehyde. That's way overheated. That's not going to happen from the machine, but it could damage your machine. So those are some things that you want to be sure to do. You do want to protect it, and you do want to hide it, but you want to let it breathe.
Great. One more question I think the average haunter will be. We all see a wide variety of fog machines in the industry.
Right.
Is that we see $39 and we see $1,000 machines. So what and why should we invest in what machine and for what environment should we invest in?
Sure, a little education here. Two very different applications. Indoors, if you are an indoor haunter, it is worth spending the money to buy a $500 or $1,000 nice machine that's going to give you a lot of years of service and high performance. However, if you are an outdoor haunt, you're better to spend $500 to $1,000 on $39 fog machines and buy as many of them as you can, knowing that a third of them are going to break. Because if you're outside, you're asking a fog machine to do something it was never designed to do. You're asking it to heat up to 300 degrees in 20-degree weather and run fluid that's been sitting outside at 20 or 30 degrees through it. You're asking for cracked heater cores. You're asking for condensation all over the electronics. You're asking for trouble. And so you know you're going to break some of those. So much better to buy the disposables, the third of them that break, toss them, count that as a part of the cost of doing business or the cost of having your haunt, and take the tax deduction if you're a pro haunter, and then go buy a third more next year and get a cycle of breakdown and buy new happening if you're an outdoor haunt. I want to visit a couple of the products too that are both indoor outdoor. Starting with the Swamp, which you heard me refer to, that's what made us famous. Hour to an hour and a half hang time. Again, all these fluids are made with pharmaceutical grade properties and so forth. But hour to an hour and a half hang time, no odor. This is your airborne fog, both indoor or outdoor. If you're wanting ambient air fog that's pretty thick, Swamp Juice is what you want. Freezing fog. This is really designed for outdoor chiller use predominantly. And this is for your graveyard scene and so forth outside. It'll stay lower longer in an outdoor environment. Freezing fog, also known as chiller fog. Most people, whether it's Martin, American DJ, or those guys who do low-lying fog, it is simply fast dissipating fog fluid. And all it does is they chill it, get it on the ground, and before it has an opportunity to rise, it's dissipated. And so fast dissipating fog fluid is what you use in your indoor ground effects. If you're an indoor haunt, you have an indoor swamp or an indoor graveyard scene that you want a low-lying effect in, this is what you use so that you don't fill the entire room full of smoke. And of course, something we're pretty proud of just a couple weeks ago, we were given the Vendor Excellence Vendor of the Year Award by IAHA, so pretty happy about that. We worked hard to keep our customers happy, and we're going to continue to do that. Doesn't change who we are. We treat the guy who buys 1 gallon like a home haunter the same as we do with one of the major theme parks who buys 60, 55-gallon drums in 6 weeks. You guys all get treated the same. We want everybody to have their customer service on time. And if you have any questions or comments, or whether you're doing business with us or not, if it's a question related to fog, give us a call and we're going to help you.
One more thing to keep in mind with Froggy's Fog is if you become a registered member of the Home Haunters Association, they have provided us a 10% discount coupon code for your purchase. Great. Well, I think we'll close this out interview here, but thanks for joining us from the National Hunters Convention. This is Kevin with the Home Hunters Association.